All right, guys. Cool. Welcome. This is Furby's Corner, episode 2. Powered by Beast Coast. The last time we did this, which was a couple of weeks ago, before I went out to Capcom. We interviewed Mutant XP from the Jazzy Circuit. Today we have another guest, another TO, another one of Midwest finest, Nober from Net Battles today. How you doing, man?
How you doing? Good. Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, chilling, man. Thanks for being a guest on today's show.
Yeah.
First, like I guess we'll get started. So, first off, talk to the people. Tell them where you from and what you do. Let the stream know what's up.
Like you want me to go way back? Like
Go back,
way back?
go back as far as you want, brother.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm from Miami, but I was born in Venezuela. I was raised my first years in Venezuela until I was 12, and that's the first time when I saw Street Fighter 2 at a at an arcade in Venezuela. I still remember walking in, and funny enough, we had nothing but candy cabs. And I saw Alter Beast and Metal Slug, and then I saw this thing called Street Fighter 2. I'm like, what the heck is this? I saw Guile with the jet in the background and all that stuff. I was like, what the hell? I couldn't stop looking at it. So I didn't even know you have to put coins on those things. That's how small I was. But I got hooked right away. Then from there, moved to Miami, and I cannot believe I didn't meet you before. You know all my friends from Miami. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I used to go to Flippers all the time and Funorama. And
Flippers and Funorama they were arcades in Miami at the time.
yep, yep. So that's where I started playing a little more serious.
Mm,
Um, then Marvel 1 came out, and I was playing that quite a bit. And a friend of mine at the time saw me playing it, and he was like, "Yo, you're pretty good at this. You should actually enter a tournament." I'm like, "Tournament? What the hell? They do things like that for this stuff?" It's like, "Yeah, they do it at Flippers."
mm,
So I went down to Flippers in Kendall in Miami back in the day, um, and got second place. So I was like, "Yo, there's something to this." And then within 2 months after that, Marvel 2 came out,
Marvel Two
and
set.
the rest is so you already know, son.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel 2. So after that, I was winning almost every single tournament in Miami in Marvel 2. Then I stopped for quite a bit. In 2008, I moved to Indiana, which is where I'm at now. And let me see, I was kind of looking around for a place to be able to compete, play some games with people, try because the scene was kind of like small in here. And I saw this thing called Naptown Clutch. It was the first one. Went there, met a bunch of people there, and I entered the Marvel 2 tournament. They had two tournaments, low tiers and high tiers. I
So you actually didn't found Naptown Clutch?
No, no.
Oh wow,
So
I didn't know that.
it was it was actually four other guys that did it.
Mm-hmm.
The main guy that I spoke to was Washington
Mm-hmm.
and G. He goes by G. And then when I entered the tournament, which was Marvel 2 and Marvel low tiers and high tiers, I ended up winning both.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, "Yo, who the hell is this guy?" And I just said, "Like, look, I used to go to tournaments in Miami. I can help you guys out. I'm a Marvel head. I would love to help you guys out." And then they just pretty much said, "Well, if you have seen how tournaments are done and you know what to do, how about you just lead us?" And
Mm-hmm.
then I just took it and ran with it. And then from that point forward, then we did Napton Clutch 2
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of help with the people from Indie.
No, no,
Um,
oh yeah. So what was the time frame for this Naptown Clutch 1 and 2?
so one, if I remember correctly, was 2011,
Mm-hmm.
2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that was Marvel 2, which is not it's not the one where I met you. I met you in Naptown 3, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. I think
Is
so.
that right? I
Yeah.
think that. Because but I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but pretty much during Naptown Clutch 2, a lot of people came, like we double in people,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of that's how net battle started kind of being born. um it's just a group of people just trying to network and just trying to get the word out that we love fighting games. That's how the whole name came about.
Hmm.
Um, and that's the Net Battles crew. Um, from there, after Napton Clutch 2, oh man, I'm just starting to remember a bunch of stuff.
It's
You good
yeah,
with? We got time for all of
yeah,
this?
it's all good. Yeah, go
All
rock out, brother.
right. So then after that, I was working at a restaurant at the time, and I was closing the restaurant, and then I see three people walk in as my last table of the night, and one of the three people was Clockwork here in Indy, and I'm like, what the hell is Clockwork doing here? Like, out of all people, why is he in Indy? And I knew who he was because he's Clockwork, Marvel 2, right?
Marvel too,
But
son.
you know, but then so he sits on my table. I didn't know the other two guys at the time. Um, so I say, okay, guys, what would you like to drink? Blah blah blah. I get the order and I said, okay, no problem, guys. The restaurant is all ours. By the way, I'm not gonna tell anybody the Clockwork is here. And he looked at me like I was crazy, like, yo, how do you know who I am? And I'm like, yo, I'm a Marvel 2 head. And then he said, who you play? I'm like, I play Team Watts. And he's like, oh, so you do know a little bit about Blackheart and all this stuff. I'm like, of course.
Mhm.
So we kind of exchanged information a little bit, but then I asked, what are you guys doing here at the time? And then they were like, well, no, we cannot tell you. Then like a month passes by, they came over to the house and we were playing some games. And after a while, they told me what they were here for. And now we can talk about it. They were making the manual for Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Bizarre.
It, w- it was him, it was Joe Epstein, and Logan Sharp.
Nice.
Amazing guys, amazing guys. Super supportive. They were even kind enough to put my name on the manual. If you look at the back end of the manual, you can see the thank yous of everybody,
Hmm.
and just being the hospitality that I gave them and stuff like that. They were really thankful for that. So that's how I met them. And then for Napton Clutch 3, I got Clockwork to come over to for that one. And that's how we started getting a lot of people to the event. And at that time, I was also helping Ian from KIT with with his event, either bringing equipment to help for the stations and some streaming here and there with the little bit of streaming that I was kind of teaching myself. And I asked him at the time, "Yo, who are you using for your stream?" And he said, "Arturo." I'm like, "Oh, well, can I talk to him? See how we can communicate?" And that's how I met you, Art. You just came over and help out Napton Clutch. I think it was, yeah. Now that I think about it, it was Napton Clutch 4, the first one that you came over.
That
Um,
was in the movie theater.
yeah, yes, correct. That was
Hmm.
that's where we used to do Got Like Saturdays as well. Got Like Saturdays and Sundays too.
Hmm.
Um, and that was the year that you came over, Ray, Marlin Pie, Cloud 805. All the Marvel heads were here, and Marvel was on fire. It was amazing times. Um, let me see. And then at that moment is when you realize that I was actually trying to teach myself how to do streaming. And you told me, yo, get rid of all this stuff. You need to buy this. You need to get that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's how I kind of like really, really got into streaming. So not only am I TO, but also help you guys out with the streaming. So I've been doing a lot of production, mostly for obviously anything net battles, KIT. We helped at Combo Breaker. We did Battle the Strongest with you. Um, you name it. I've been doing a lot of stuff with you, brother. So I really, really appreciate all your teachings, and obviously Spooky. Shout outs to them, to him. Yeah, so yeah, I think that brings me to where we're at, kind of.
Yeah,
We
current day.
done we did a lot of Naptown clutches after that. It was amazing times. Naptown
Yeah.
clutch 2019 was the last one, unfortunately, because of COVID.
Yep.
Um,
You didn't. You forgot to mention you're also involved in Combo Breaker and KIT as well.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Hmm.
we did the side events. We streamed the side event for Combo Breaker when you were doing all the retro.
Hmm.
So that's how people were able to see those beautiful matches from
Hmm.
the retro side and the side events too.
Hmm.
And then for KIT, at this point, you and I are the main production
Uh,
for Getty all the time.
yeah, for
Um,
yeah, for a couple of years now at this point.
Correct, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been an amazing journey. It's been really, really cool, and just working with everybody that we've worked with is super cool. And best of all, obviously supporting the scene and stuff like that. Um, so I would love to do a Napton clutch, but I think we have to wait a little longer until we really figure out the times that we live in and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
there's a
yeah, 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 that was definitely that was definitely an amazing recap, and like that was gonna be that was gonna be my next question. Like,
Mhm.
any plans on doing Naptown Clutch and anytime soon, or are you still gonna wait it out for a couple more months to see what's up?
I think I wanna. I can't really put it in stone. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that happened for me and my family
Mm-hmm.
um, is that after COVID, I got promoted at work,
Mm-hmm.
so things have been amazing at my regular job. I still want to obviously be connected with the FGC in some way or another. You already know what's going on, but pretty much behind me, you can see all the equipment and all the stuff that you and shout outs to Cruz and Gabe and Sosa and Beast and all of you guys
Yeah,
that have been helping me how to put together all this equipment.
yeah. See, brother,
Um,
you got a little arcade room going on back there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, when was it? Saturday. We had a few of the guys that I haven't seen from the Net Battles crew. They came over and we were having a blast. We didn't stream anything because obviously that was a Capcom Pro Tour,
Uh huh.
so
Yeah.
we were just kind of catching up and watching ourselves. But this is pretty much what I'm trying to work on now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to set this place up so that way
Oh, so
there's
it's,
gonna be
kind of like an
invitationals
exhibition,
here.
kind of like an exhibition corner.
Exactly. So I'm gonna try to get some people out here for different games and different weekends, support their game, and just have some really good exhibition matches. Maybe in a bracket, kind of like the style. I don't know if you remember Chaos Dimension.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Static Alpha.
that was fun.
He was the one with the idea of that. So I think we're gonna do a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
in the future. But until then, I think I want to wait a little longer until I actually do another Naptown. Um, it's coming, but yeah, just let's just wait a second. Let's just wait a second.
Yeah, now,
You already
now,
know.
now, my next question is: you got a Capcom license?
Yo, we gotta get yeah.
We're gonna get we gotta get into the current news,
We
guys.
got
Don't worry.
we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how much we can speak on it, but we honestly we found out a little bit more information. I won't say from who, but it seems like it's a lot easier than we think. So I think at first the language that was described on there kind of seemed like it was very restrictive on
Mm,
what TOs can do. But
mm,
after talking to the right people, it seems like is a lot easier than we thought, and a Capcom is willing to support. So
mm.
we just gotta do what we gotta do and just sign up. That's
Yep.
it.
So yeah. Oh yeah. So and you also forgot to mention during COVID, even though you haven't been active online, it's like
Mhm.
you dipped your feet into some online stuff, like
Oh yeah,
like bandwidth battles and stuff like that. Talk to some
yeah.
people a
The
little bit
the
about that.
the, the bandwidth beatdowns.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Last year, well, I guess we were one of the first ones that started doing something right after COVID. You and I, we started a series called Bandwidth Beatdowns to support Street Fighter Five and Marvel Two online,
Hmm.
and then we were switching a couple of games back and forth. We did, I think we did Marvel Three for a little bit, and we were trying to support the Marvel Two
Oh
community
no,
and all kinds of stuff.
we actually didn't do Marvel 3 because Parsec wasn't figured out yet.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We were
Yeah,
thinking about it. That's
yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. But we did switch Marvel Two quite a bit from trying to go from Xbox 360s to PS, and that was oh my god, that was such chaos.
Hmm.
Yo, the lobby system is crazy.
But then people were donating, son.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were on it,
We're
and
do-
people were watching, and not only everybody wanted to watch, but the players were super cool and all that good stuff.
I
So
remember that one
uh,
time. I remember that one time we did it. Somebody donated like $1,000 just out of nowhere.
yeah, they just
They
dropped
were
it.
like,
Yep,
yo,
yep.
like yo.
Yo, Marvel 2, here you go, take this. So yeah, no, that we did that for quite a bit. Shout outs to Challenge. They actually back then, I don't know exactly how everything lands now because they were moving a lot of pieces. But the founder of Challenge is actually from Indy,
Mhm,
and he reached out to me to try to do something to promote the platform and kind of showcase how easy it is to use and all those things. So they were throwing pop bonuses for those tournaments that we were streaming back
mhm.
then. So that was pretty fun.
Yep. Shouts to Challenge for doing that.
Yep, yep. So they're amazing people. So yeah, we did that for quite a while. Then real life kind of
Caught up.
hit. Yeah, yeah. I had a lot of family members going through some personal stuff, and a couple that unfortunately passed away because of COVID.
Sorry to hear.
And no, it's so good, man. I mean, I appreciate it.
Mhm.
But now that everybody understands where we're at with it, everybody is doing their what they can.
Yeah, nah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, nah. Like I know the feeling. Like not from
mhm.
losing anybody, thankfully, but like my dad had COVID. So I was in close quarters. My roommate
Yep,
had COVID, so like I had to quarantine. That,
yep.
that no, thankfully, God bless. I haven't had anything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, the first one that we lost, I still remember we were doing a bandwidth beatdown.
that's when you
And
got the news.
rest in peace, Blue Jay. We heard the news as we were doing it. That's the first case that we heard about it. But yeah,
Yeah, rest in peace, Jose. Always.
yeah, yeah. Of course, man. That dude was incredible for the Marvel 2 community. So rest in peace. But yeah, that's why I kind of took a step back. Had to deal with a lot of personal stuff like that, and then full focus on at work because it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of weird how we got so busy
Mm-hmm.
because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really talk too much about exactly what I do in
Yeah,
this
all
platform,
good. Yeah, yeah, all good, brother.
but at the same time, it's there's a lot of things in my job that requires we work with houses. We work with housing
Mm-hmm.
and taking care of people in that form.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, the demand got really high because everybody was working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So we got ultra busy because of that too. But now that things are a little more calmed down,
Yeah, it looks
we
like
see
the
a lot of
no,
a
looks
lot
like.
of TOs kind of coming back and doing events. And I think the first offline
Mm-hmm.
event that I did, and maybe you did too, was KIT this year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Last year?
yeah, that was the first offline event we did. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Since the pandemic, yeah, KIT 2021. It was a really fun event.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
awesome. It was not so nice to see everybody.
yeah,
Everybody was wearing their mask and doing their thing. It was great. Just in general, great time to be able to see everybody once again.
yeah, of course.
Because that's
It was definitely like a very fun event. Like for me, it was an eye opener because it was the first time I was able to be somewhere without a mandate. So it was a little bit weird because obviously like New York
oh
was
yeah,
crazy lockdown at the time, right?
yeah, yeah.
And actually like there was a COVID scare there, on my TO desk from Ragnarok, I believe. But thankfully,
Hmm.
thankfully nobody got it, including myself. Ragnarok
Yeah,
didn't spread it either, so that was good.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. No, yeah, that was the same thing. Like as soon as he put it out there on Twitter, everybody went to get checked, and everybody that like did the right thing. So
Mhm.
I'm glad that he's okay, and that we were okay too.
Mhm.
Um, but unfortunately, we couldn't go to Frosty. We were supposed to be there, but
Yeah. So
with Omicron was so crazy at the time that we kind of decided to take a step back. And crazy enough, I ended up with COVID
it was the
that
right move.
weekend.
So if you guys wondering why Team Spooky wasn't at Frosty Frostings, like that's why. Like
Yep.
Spooky made the executive decision for all of us not to go. I was kind of triggered, and like I was still like half down to go anyway. But I
Hmm.
respected the decision and ended up being the right one.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
100%, 100%. So I guess, I mean, that's another thing that has happened that maybe a lot of people don't really know, but I'm part of Net Battles, but it's an honor to be able to say that I'm part of Team Spooky. I've been working with you for so long that after at KIT, Spooky himself came over and said, "Yo, you always been part of the team. You've been kicking it with Art." So that's what we do together when we can.
Mhm.
Just try to support this event and broadcast it so everybody can enjoy. So.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, man. And, like, I was actually talking to Mike during our during the Matcherino Guilty Gear Vortex event, and like
Hmm.
there was no bad blood there. He was said in
No,
the chat like we're looking forward, like he's looking forward to us blowing it up next year.
absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, like we'll probably break records on Matcherino next year, and I was like, it's all good, don't worry about it. Like, we understand
Yeah,
we understand the circumstances that you were under, and it's no fault of your own. Like, it was a stressful time.
right.
Definitely must have been a stressful time for him. But hey, the event definitely did seem to be a success. People were
It
really,
looked amazing. It
yeah.
looked amazing. I'm so happy that it went so well for them. I was actually talking to him too, and kind of while I was having COVID, I sent a text to him saying, "Yo, I'm glad that I'm not there because this is life works in mysterious ways, and I'm so happy to see that you guys are having a phenomenal time and doing so well with Frosty." So yeah, no, it kind of sucks that we were not there, but it makes it just obviously it was not the year,
Hmm.
but we'll be there. We'll be there next time for sure.
Mm, yeah,
Yep.
it's it's definitely, it was definitely for the best. So
Hmm.
so like we'll definitely see what happens going forward.
Yeah. But the only thing that I'm working on officially, maybe some of you already know, it is that now Indianapolis is part of the Jazzy circuit.
Oh,
Um,
oh yes, yeah. The people already know. They watched the last podcast. They already know because Mutant XP blew it up.
Yep. So the homeboy Mutant was able and kind enough to invite the community um, here in Indy to be able to host the last qualifier
Hmm.
um, for Jesse Circus. So it's gonna happen at Boss Battle. We are very blessed to have two amazing arcades here in Indy. Boss Battle at a mall,
Hmm.
which has anything and everything you can imagine. In the back, they have a big room where they do events like what we're gonna do, and for Jassy. And then on that, besides that arcade, there's also another one called Tappers, which is more of an arcade bar.
Hmm.
Really, really nice people there too, and a lot of people that work there are
Hmm.
Third Strike heads. That's why the Third Strike community here is so strong.
Let's go,
Um,
son. Hmm.
yeah, there's like at least four people with candy caps with Third Strike boards that people can go to all the time. They have two more at Boss Battle, and I got one myself just to be able to support the community here.
Oh
And we
yeah,
got it with the HDMI. Shout outs to Cruz.
you just dipped it.
A whole nine.
You just dipped into the HDMI vortex yourself.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I couldn't believe my eyes when I was looking at that. It looks so nice. It's crazy. But
What were the players' reaction when you had your first session with the HDMI board?
oh, they couldn't believe it. They're like, "Yo, how is this? Like, is this really a Third Strike board from back in the day?" And the fact that it was lagless, like it's no lag whatsoever.
Blow up.
They were just blown away and on them, like the fact that they were able to just plug in their controller and just play.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just as a heads up, so there is when you read the CPS3 HDMI board, right? It says that in order to display the CPS3 HDMI on all TVs, it does have a 40 line buffer, which is basically negligible. That's not even 1 ms of delay
Mm,
to get
mm.
it going. So there's like a small delay there, but it's so slight you can't even feel it basically. And then
Yeah, man.
and then with the undams, the USB controllers are actually overclocked to 1000 hertz on the super gun, which is going to lead to my next topic here. But USB controllers are overclocked. So yeah, so people, they ain't gonna feel shit, bro.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
you can see.
Some Sometimes I don't even understand what's going on. They just feel that it works,
Hmm.
and that's what matters.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's a process. It's hard to turn even for myself. when I was playing Marvel 2, I was playing Marvel 2 on CRTs or old school computer monitors
Mhm.
and on a Dreamcast until you showed me DC HDMI. And I still remember we were doing versus
Mhm.
in Ohio. And you were like, yo, I gotta show you this. I'm like, what is this? How are we playing Dreamcast on HDMI? I was blown away. I even had you play Marvel 2 with me for a while while we
Yeah,
were setting
son.
up.
Yeah, the best part about that when I started the movement for that, and that was at Bots 3. Like I had to convince the players that it didn't lag. And at
Yeah,
first,
yeah. No.
they didn't want to believe me, son.
They don't want to believe it.
They
You
don't want to
have to
believe me.
test it. You
I'm,
know?
I'm sitting there testing it. Like I'm a pro player like them. It's not like I'm just
Yeah.
like a TO that just runs games and I don't know shit about it. I actually play the game. And then like at
Right.
first they didn't believe me, son. And then now what? Now everybody swears by
Now they know. But
it.
this is the thing, guys. You have to believe Art and Cruz and all these people, because if you don't, by the time you get in and you start believing, you're late.
Yeah, and then you
You
can't
are
get it.
mad late.
You can't get it, son.
Mm-mm.
Then you're
It's
like,
sold
yo,
out.
where can I
It's
get
sold out.
it? Espe-
It's sold out everywhere.
es-
You're screwed. So you
especially
gotta wait now.
especially with the FPGA shortage, you're not getting shit.
Oh God, no. Mm-mm. Not
Mhm,
at all.
so I guess that this leads into my next question. So obviously during the pandemic, like people have been doing online tournaments and stuff, and there's been like a huge shift like towards the PC movement, right? So
Hmm.
I just wanted to kind of ask, like, what are your thoughts on all that? It's like a general overview of just like your general thoughts on that, like as a TO, because I know that during the pandemic you took some time to install like less laggy equipment like in your arcade room, like
Hmm.
you actually have a Chulix there with the 144 hertz monitor. You've been
Right.
trying things on PC, right? So what are your thoughts on that overall?
I I really think that's the future. I
Hmm.
don't. I'm. There's no way to fight it. I mean, we've been playing since. I guess let me put it this way: since Xbox 360,
Hmm.
we've been having to kind of just be okay with what we got,
Oh yeah,
and the
just kind of accept it, right?
yeah, just be like, okay, well, this is what we got. This is what we did. Like when Street Fighter came out, it has so many so much lag that then they actually had to start trying to work it back and make it better. And but that's the only thing we had.
Mm-hmm.
But now with PC, it is such a proven fact that it can be so much better. The problem is, I feel like not everybody has a PC. First and foremost,
Oh, of
it's
course.
it's expensive.
Of course, but
That's
like I do believe most people have laptops though, at the very least.
yeah, no, 100%.
Not
But this is
PC,
that's that
not actually a desktop PC, but laptop.
right.
Yeah.
The thing is that a lot of people don't know that they can play Street Fighter 5 or other games on a laptop. They all expect everybody's thinking that they have to have something that is worth, I don't know, $5,000 with a 3090. If not, it's gonna no. You can play Street Fighter on a laptop. Yeah, it may not look incredibly beautiful, but you can play really nice as long as you're optimizing your computer.
Hmm.
That's all it is. Like you can play it on 720p. It's not gonna have the best shadows or whatever it is that you're setting up on as the graphics, but you can set it up so that way there is almost to no lag. Um, and it's such a way better experience than trying to play on 4K with all the lag in the world. It's just no, it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah, like I think the 4K monitors only go up to 144 hertz. I think 240 hertz got announced. Yeah, like I kind of think that I kind of think once offline comes back,
Right.
the first TO, like and like I think Arcade Brooklyn is basically already starting to do this.
Hmm.
The first TO that actually gets rid of their old stock and invests in all 144 hertz monitors for their setup, which is cheap by the way. 144 hertz, in USD, it's like $130 like a screen, which is not,
Yes.
I mean, it's not too crazy, right?
No,
I
not
think
at all.
yeah, but yeah, I think the first TO that actually invests in the screens and then ask the community to bring their laptop setups and then blow it up that way is gonna have a lot of success.
Right. The
Yeah.
only those are the obstacles because you guys are lucky in New York to have people like you that can go to Brooklyn Arcade and optimize the laptops that people bring and teach other people, hey, this is how your laptop should be with the type of hardware you have.
Mhm.
It's hard to run a tournament when everybody's bringing a different type of laptop or a different type of computer and everybody's settings is all over the place. It's just like trying to do a tournament with a 360 and a PS3 and a
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
can't do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure. Maybe six setups is probably manageable. You have like a set.
Yeah, yeah,
I like six setups. Community has like six laptops. We
yeah.
optimize them all one by one. Like, we could probably pull it off. But yeah,
Right.
it's definitely gonna require some legwork. But it's no
Hmm.
it's no crazier. It's not nothing crazier than what we did back in the day with having to jerry rig arcade setups to actually get shit going.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. No, exactly, exactly. No, you got it. And I think that's the thing that I think back in the day, doing tournaments and trying to get everybody together to be able to move arcades was normal. Then we went to the comfort of just saying, "Oh, bring a PS3 or bring a PS4, whatever, to this tournament." A community, bring all this equipment, and we have tables for you guys, and everybody knew that everything will be the same. To going back to actually doing the extra work to make sure that we can do it, play the best way we can.
Hmm.
Um, so that's gonna take a little. But you're right. I think 100%. Whoever is the first true local, because I think it's possible at a local level by
Hmm.
having, like you said, six setups, maybe eight setups, that the community comes together and does that, is gonna change the game. Everybody's gonna be watching that because it's the best. It's the best way to play. Period.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Yeah. Yeah. Six days. So my advice for any TOs listening to this, 6 to 8 setups. You standardize the monitor.
mhm,
You get Brooks Wingman XB adapters. You make sure you have the same GPU settings across the board. I did release a
right.
video on the Beast Coast FGC channel, which will help you understand what settings you actually have to use. Make sure you overclock those adapters, right, to 1000 hertz. Make sure everything is pushing 144 hertz, and then bam, blah.
That's it. That's it. To us, it sounds easy. That's the other part.
Yeah.
To us, it sounds easy because we know what we're talking about. But the
Hmm.
vast majority, Art, they
Hmm.
have no idea. That's the obstacle.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
people don't know how to get there to do those things.
Yeah. FGC is good at organizing tournaments, but like on the tech side, it's like just because you can organize doesn't necessarily mean you're good at tech. So you need a specific somebody that knows what's up with the tech to actually troubleshoot.
I I thought I knew, and I'm a computer guy, but I've been learning a whole lot from you guys because of it.
Mhm.
So you can only imagine. But pretty much in a nutshell, you're right. That's the other thing that I think, the misconception that people think, oh, 140 hertz, that means that I have to get a new monitor. That means that my new monitor is going to be $300.
Nope.
No, 144 hertz is pretty much like you said, 150 bucks. Is
130.
probably,
130.
yeah, even 130. Like I remember back in 2010 when we started buying monitors, the Asus monitors that were like 200 bucks,
Mm.
and they're 60 hertz.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So now you can find for cheaper something three times better.
Yep. But
So it's just doing that little bit of work, and that's it.
yeah, but then it does lead into the question of going at scale. So once you actually climb the mountaintop and you actually do all this and you actually drop the lag, it's not feasible for a tournament at scale to actually do this yet. So
No, not
yeah,
yet, not
yeah.
yet.
So
It's too
like
big.
I'm wondering what direction is going forward. Are is it eventually going to be a future where where like online qualifiers are a thing, and you go to play offline? Are people gonna suck? No, are people gonna suck it up and play on console or what? Like I'm pretty much wondering what's gonna happen because one of the problems with this is that now we're all playing on different delays. We're all playing on
Yes,
different delays. There's we're really like in a growth trend. We're really like in a tough transition period where like not everybody's playing on the same hardware and everybody's delay even on PC is different depending on your setup and your configuration.
correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think at a large scale is extremely hard. And there were two particular pieces of our hardware that I was really looking for, and one became true on everything they said, which is Mister. It's an
Oh,
incredible piece of
oh
hardware.
yeah, blow.
But then the other one was Steam Deck,
Yeah.
and we just found out that Steam Deck made a lot of promises that are coming in the future, even though their hardware is now being released.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a living, breathing thing that is gonna take a while to get to the point that we were hoping they were gonna be ready for.
Yeah,
Until
Steam Deck is not ready for mass consumption yet.
no, no.
But
But once Steam Deck happens,
mhm.
I can see that possibility that major tournaments will have nothing but Steam Decks and everything will be
Yeah,
is the easiest way to standardize what everybody's is doing
I
for
think that's
sure.
the reason. I think that's the reason why Valve chose to sell it direct on the Steam store and not to retail. I think that was a very smart move for them because
That makes sense.
if you know anything about the history of Steam, like like Steam was not godlike overnight. Definitely not. Like
No,
if
no.
you use Steam, I've used Steam for like a decade now or so. It's not. It was definitely not as good as it is now. Like they did many revisions and iterations to get where they're at. Many updates to make it as godlike as it is today. So
Right.
it's definitely gonna take some time. Like I just don't know what it's gonna be like a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, even the people from Steam Deck are already talking about Steam Deck 2.
Oh,
And within the information that they're giving away about, oh yeah, we're updating this, we're updating that, because when we start working on Steam 2, I was like, what? Like, yeah, they're looking way ahead. Even though the piece of hardware right now, for other intent or purposes, is an amazing piece of hardware, but for tournaments, it's not ready yet. I don't think so. I
yeah,
don't think.
yeah. Like we're still waiting for the Windows drivers for it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely gonna be a while. And then we'll have to see it, and then we'll have to see how the external monitors work and the controller support and all that. Definitely seems like there's going to be many updates to come but before it fully delivers on its promise.
Right, right. Now, I think the idea of having offline qualifiers and then doing an on offline event for everybody that qualified, kind of like almost like Jazzy Circuit. The
Hmm.
Jazzy Circuit usually has about 64 or less people per tournament.
Hmm.
Um, and then each person qualifies and then they go to the main event. I can see some events being done on PC like that. If anybody takes on that type of um, challenge as
Hmm.
a TO to
Yeah.
do it like that, I can see that happening. But just doing the old-fashioned um, tournament with 50 different setups on PC, I don't see that yet. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
we're
not
gonna have to play.
not yet. Especially during this pandemic where you can't get parts. Even Microsoft doesn't do that with Halo.
Wow. Yeah.
They were having they actually like I believe for the Halo World Championships, like on their
Hmm.
blog, they said that they were doing the open qualifiers on Xbox One S and X, which
Hmm.
support 120 hertz. And then if you qualify, then you get to play on PC, and you have time to acclimate your
Oh
PC
wow.
setup. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's crazy. I
Mhm.
didn't know that was happening.
Yeah. Even they're having issues. So it's definitely a transition period, and there's definitely some growing pains there, for sure.
Mhm.
I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting to talk about. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it as a TO. Some really good insights there.
Yeah. We still have a little bit of ways, and I if I were to do Naptown tomorrow,
Hmm.
it will be on PS4.
Hmm.
No question.
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't
not
blame you.
even consider PS5.
I don't even.
I have
Yeah, I don't even blame you, son.
I have a PS5 and all I do is play Call of Duty on it and watch movies on it
Mm.
because I don't like playing Call of Duty on PC because of the
Hmm.
amount of cheaters there on there.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
I don't want to deal with that. But besides that, I play on the arcades, I play on the Dreamcast, I play on the PS4. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, yeah, it's really disappointing. I'm really hoping that Sony or like Unreal, whatever the problem is, does like some fixes there on that to drop the lag. Because unfortunately, right now, PS5 overall lags more than PS4, which is a big problem
Right.
for all of us.
I mean, we don't know for sure, but what it seems like is that Unreal doesn't like to play with the PS5 engine. I mean,
Hmm.
the PS5 hardware.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's tough.
yeah, no, like I definitely believe that they're gonna do something. Like there's too much chips at stake to not do something. I don't
Oh
think that
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna let it stand like this.
right, right, right. No, no way.
Because if it keeps going this way, like PC and Microsoft is gonna eat their lunch. I think in the long term, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sometime soon. And then you know, it's definitely like a tough time, man. But yeah, like
Hmm.
I'm trying to do what I can to help the people adapt during this time.
Right. And the funny part to me is that I won't say names, but there's a lot of people that are actually complaining about PC being almost too good, which blows my mind. Like what?
All right, like I'll blow it up. All right, I'll blow it up. So guys, so at Capcom Pro Tour, right? So Capcom actually invited me to the Capcom Pro Tour finals. Thank you, Capcom, for actually having me out there, right? We had an exhibition, no neutral 5v5, right? So it was Team Rob TV versus Team Brian F, right? and some players were adamant about me not touching the setup, son. And the reason for that is that once I actually do my optimizations, everything becomes too consistent, too fluid.
So,
And now they're actually saying it's too fast. When before, remember one of the common complaints from top players was that what was that? Oh, the stream setup lags.
yeah.
This monitor lags. Blah blah blah. I don't want to play on it. Fix your stuff. Now
Mhm.
it's like, oh, it's too fast.
It's too good. Like what are
What
you doing?
happened?
Like
What happened?
so let me ask you this. Did you optimize only player 1 or both?
So I'll tell you exactly what I did.
Both?
I'll tell you exactly what I did. So because it was a stream station and because it was Capcom's own setup,
Mhm.
I kept it very simple. There was no overclocking involved at all. First off, so I did not have the Brooks Wingman XB. I did not plug it in there. What I did do was what I did do was because I didn't have the Brooks Wingman XB, it would not make
Mhm.
sense for me to overclock the controller. The reason for that is because one of the reasons why I suggest the Brooks Wingman XB is because if you overclock that adapter, you don't have to keep overclocking every time a controller gets plugged in. You only need to overclock
Oh.
that adapter once, and that's it. Because of the overclocking software, you have to overclock every USB manually. So you have to, when somebody unplugs the controller, you have to Alt Tab out. You have to run the overclock program. You have to overclock the stick. It's
Oh
annoying.
wow.
It's annoying. Yeah. So I just totally did not do that at all. All I did was two things. Alt tabbed out, confirm Windows is running at 144 hertz, which it was.
Mhm.
And then after that, I went to the NVIDIA control panel settings, right? And then I made sure everything was good, and everything was good except for two things. The one
Mhm.
thing, so ultra low latency mode, I turned that on, right? So by doing that, that actually decreases the frame. That actually decreases latency by 0.5 frames.
Okay.
And I made sure that I made sure that the power mode was set to maximum. It was actually on balance, which is something you don't want. You want that shit running at full blast.
And what does that how does that help?
Oh, because the computer is running at 100%, so you're not going to be throttled by anything.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I did. Uh,
And they
that's
were
too
still
fast.
complaining. You didn't even do everything that you're supposed to do.
Nope. Nope.
And they were still complaining that it was too good.
Yep. And then some of the players on the other team said like, oh yeah. So in that clip, it was actually Punk the God that said it. So some of the
Mhm.
players were saying that like, oh, Art only did it on player one and not player two.
Yeah.
But at the end of the clip, you can hear Shine, right? And then Shine says, I think it's fine. And you know why he said that? Because I personally optimized his own setup. So he's not feeling nothing. Shouts to Shine.
My God.
Shouts to Shine,
That
by the
was
way.
too good. That was too good. Oh God.
That's the future of PC, guys. Like if you actually optimize your setups, the players, some of the players are gonna cry and say, "Yo, it's too fast. It's too fast. It's too fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do." Like, yeah, I want the lag, right? I want the lag because it possibly gives me an advantage. Who knows?
Yeah, let me ask you this. Can you tell the people the difference between lag and latency?
So like that's such a complicated question, but I'll try to explain it here. All
Hmm.
right, with the monitor optimization that I'm talking about, right? It actually doesn't drop the lag. What it does do is drop the perceived lag that you're feeling. It actually doesn't change any latency itself. What it does is it makes the monitor draw faster, right? So 60 hertz, 60 hertz game, each frame draws at 16 milliseconds. Like each frame, because the 60 frame per second game, it draws at 16.66 milliseconds. When you upgrade to 144 hertz, it drops to 8 milliseconds. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying, right? So because the
Yep.
monitor is drawing faster, it gives you it. You feel like there's less lag there because everything is drawing faster, but actually everything is the same.
Right.
What actually drops the lag is your PCB and overclocking your controller. That actually changes the lag. So
Gotcha.
and then going into NVIDIA controller setting, going into NVIDIA settings and changing ultra low latency mode, that drops the lag as well. So it's actually the sum of multiple different things. So
Hmm.
when you do all the overclock settings, your perceived lag drops overall. So it's a combination of right monitor and overclock that
Right.
that gives you that feeling overall.
No, that makes perfect sense to me. I just know there's a lot of people out there that still are having a hard time understanding what each one does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, it's almost like people when they try to play on a particular monitor and they play online and they think they don't have a good connection online, but in reality, it's their monitor.
Yeah, or it's their setup, or it's their PCB.
Hmm.
Could be a lot
But
of
it's
things.
but it's never them, right? so
It's never
it's,
them.
it's so yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, shout out to the homie, Rob TV though. Like yo, that tweet that he made after the exhibition had me dying, son. He was like, Art sabotage the setup. It was too optimized.
yeah,
God,
that's
what?
what got me. So shout out to Rob,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Rob TV. That was funny as hell. But yeah, guys, that's the precedent. I'm too good at my job. I'm too good at my job, so that's why they lost.
You're blowing it up too hot, too
Yeah.
hot. I've been telling you, son. You gotta hold on your secrets a little bit longer. You can't be telling everybody everything.
No, like I mean, to be honest, like
Nah, I'm
I
just
did
teasing.
that.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, to be honest, I did do that for a while, and just to see, like, if it was true, right? And sure
Mhm.
enough, it was true, and I was like, I was like, FGC ain't too tech savvy. I can kind of hold on to this forever, right? But you know what? It's not fair, guys. Like,
No,
it's
no.
not fair. Like,
It
I'm
this
playing,
is this
I'm
is
playing 3 frames
th-
ahead. I'm playing 3 frames ahead in the future of everybody else, son. Nah, like,
this is this is how I see it. To your point,
mhm.
back in the day, before the internet, before anything, when we were playing in the arcades, when we were playing Marvel 2, when we were playing CVS 2, and all that.
Oh, thank you to IPG Esports for the raid. I appreciate that, brother. Carry on.
um, back in the day, if you had some tech,
Save that shit
you
for
want
nationals.
you wanted to tell people so that way they keep you on check and you were always getting better.
Hmm.
So this is a similar situation, but in a different way. You
Hmm.
want to tell people what's up. You don't want to be destroying people, and then deep inside it's because your shit is just faster than everybody else.
Hmm. Yeah,
When you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. That being said, until the 480 hertz monitors come out, I'll always be at an advantage over everybody else right now, right? Like, so what you can do is, like, the fastest monitor available today is the Acer Nitro XV252QF, which is a 390 hertz, 0.5 ms monitor, right? I actually have it. I actually have it right here. Actually, I actually definitely do have it right here. Like, it's actually
Be-
like it's actually right next to me, and that's my secondary monitor that I use, and it's almost as good as the 480 hertz. You can actually buy that today, although with the pandemic, it's like sold out right now. But yeah, that is the monitor I recommend if you're trying to play fighting games. Acer Nitro XV252QF.
you got you got a link for the chat?
Nah, I have no link. I'll just say it again. Acer Nitro XV252QF. I mean, I'm not sponsored by Acer. I'm just telling y'all what's up.
You're just giving away the tech. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, guys. But then, good luck getting it. It's sold out right now. But yeah, I definitely I definitely recommend that monitor. There's a couple of caveats though. So the first caveat is it's like if you're trying to get this for console 60 hertz games, you're not going to see no latency difference. I've actually tested it. It's still 12 ms and 60 hertz. If you play it on PC though, a whole new world. Like I actually tested it with my overclock controller. The amount of latency I'm getting from my full system chain is half a frame.
Easy.
Half a frame, right? Hello?
That's crazy, Fred. Oh man.
But yeah, guys. The reason why I did release this, though, like I said, I want to be fair. I want the players to overclock themselves because I want a fair match. Also, I want the players and the TOs to be aware of it so that when the time comes, we can all migrate. We can be ready and not get caught flat-footed. The more information that's out there, the better it is for the scene as a whole.
Right, and I think you gave away the information at the right time too, because everybody's playing at home, and a lot of people are playing now on PC.
Yes,
So
yes, and it's also interesting to note that the CPT stream, it was in 144 hertz, but over in Japan, for all their events, they're playing on Iyama 240 hertz monitors. So we're actually behind still.
They're playing on two.
They're playing on 240. Yeah, they're playing on 240 hertz monitors. The reason that's viable is that the capture cards of today, the HDMI 2.0 capture cards, the bandwidth limitation of that is 1080p 240 hertz. So that's actually totally realistic for somebody to do an offline setting if they have the equipment. So you can actually capture it and pass it through no problem. So if you watch some of their matches in Topanga, you see that they're playing on the Iyama 240 hertz monitors. No wonder why certain people's gameplay is mad godlike.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Their reactions are ridiculous.
Go watch Pugara versus Infiltration. see what he's reacting to, bro.
Yo, no, I gotta check that out. That's crazy. I would have never imagined that. That's kind of like how they're doing tournaments over there now. Jesus. Yep, we gotta catch up, guys.
Okay. Yeah. But one of the things that they're not doing though is, like I said, so many TOs and players are not hip to overclocking their controller, though. So that's another step that people have to convert to. So I've heard from the grapevine that Brooks is actually considering making an overclocking program for their hardware, which would help a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, that would really help a lot. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition or not, but I've heard things from the grapevine, and the people at Brooks are really smart guys. So I have no doubt in my mind if they actually do it, it'll happen.
Crazy.
But yeah, guys, definitely hope you guys learned something from this little tech talk that we had. All right, so the last bit of news. So let's get into the elephant in the room, guys. The Capcom Street Fighter V license agreement.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna.
Yeah, no. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it. I'm not gonna. I mean, just for the record, you guys know I'm a Street Fighter V player. I'm not gonna blow up Capcom here on the podcast, but I definitely want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
To see what's up. All right, guys. So if you guys living under a rock. Recently, you guys living under a rock, right? And I'm just going to read the tweet here. Calling all tournament organizers, check out our new community license agreement for running tournaments with Street Fighter V Champion Edition. It covers everything you need to know in the one easy-to-reference space. Apply here. And then the community manager, what's up, Sanford? How you doing? The community manager says, if anybody has any questions about this, just give me a shout. I've been working on this with both the Capcom Europe and Capcom USA legal teams. I'll be managing the EMEA submissions. Just don't expect a reply right away. That's how I'll work until tomorrow. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Oh, I just noticed. Yeah, what's up, Sanford?
Yeah, what's up, bro? And then,
oh man.
And then the reply. Oh man. I'm looking at the replies here. 880 quote tweets. Everybody replying to Matthew Edwards. needless
Oh
to
no.
needless to say, needless to say, it did not go over very well, right?
Mm-mm.
now,
Mm-mm.
now before we get into all that, I just want to say that guys, like I actually read it and I applied and I got approved right away.
Yeah.
Spooky is also approved. Like Capcom told him they can do NLBC as is. I was told, well, I was approved, so NLBC offline will be continuing as is, right? So, I guess my question is, Nober. So, what are your initial thoughts on all that? Well, actually, wait, don't even answer. Just let me start because I don't want to put you in the hot seat yet, right? So it seems to me like after reading this agreement, a lot of it does sound heavy handed, yes, right? From what I've been talking to from people outside the FGC, a lot of these are the same agreements that we see in other esports games.
Right.
The problem is that FGC is not like one unit. It's like the FGC. The best way to describe it is it's a group of loosely affiliated sub communities that all come together like in big events, right? So I feel like this is one of the reasons why it did not go over so well. It's like you can't have like a catch-all to the FGC if you're gonna have this type of agreement. Like I think whoever did this document did not take into consideration like like a event organizer's personal struggles here. So
Right.
I feel like it kind of does not apply to the FGC, and that's one of the reasons why it did not go over so well. And some people didn't even bother applying, like they didn't even read it. Like it just read it and said, "Nah, fuck it, we're not gonna run Street Fighter Five events anymore."
That,
And it is my opinion, not legal advice, that Capcom is actually not gonna enforce this. They're just trying to cover their ass.
right. Right. No.
Hmm.
I think that just like everything, when you go get a phone or something, they give you this lengthy contract that nobody reads, right?
Hmm.
Nobody wants to go through through that whole process of having to read all that shit. And they just in a situation like this, we're not used to it. We're just not used to having to sign a paper or go somewhere to apply to do an event. So this is something brand new to us. But you're not wrong. This is something extremely standard in the world of all the other video games out there that are in the esports kind of realm.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but in these cases, a lot of these esports, they have massive budgets, especially for the
yeah.
teams. It's like they have massive budgets, royalty fees, and all
Mhm.
that. I think Capcom
Right.
was trying to get their ducks in order before Street Fighter Six.
Mm, exactly. Exactly. So don't get me wrong. As a TO, I was also kind of like blown away that they put that out there like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of scared. But after finding out that people that are applying, people like us, are getting approved, to me is more like we just want to make sure that our game is represented the right way and not anybody and everybody is just trying to do a tournament. We even back in the day, again, we were talking about how I started playing Street Fighter and how I started doing events here in Indy. I was eerie of trying to work with anybody because I didn't know who was who.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see Capcom now as the game is growing, how they're trying to control who is representing their logo and their brand. Does it suck that we have to do more steps? Yes. Does it suck that we have to go through steps that we don't know exactly what they're gonna be? Yes. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, you just apply, Spooky to apply, I'm gonna apply, and we know everything is good. They told us everything is fine. They just wanna have that in stone in the case a TO or an event act a fool
Mm-hmm.
and they don't people that okay. The best analogy I heard, I won't say who we're talking to about that and all that stuff, but the best analogy was imagine that you're doing a tournament and you have the Street Fighter logo on it as Street Fighter is trying to become esports or to a higher level and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then people that are watching on at their house that don't really play Street Fighter, they just want to watch this esports event. If we don't communicate that well and say as TOs and say guys, this is an event that just so happens to have Street Fighter. If we
Mhm.
don't communicate that well, people that are watching that are not in the FGC, that are not really involved in what we do and how we do things, they might easily assume that we are Capcom. And if something bad happens, Capcom might get sued. So
Yeah.
it's more about Capcom covering their bases from people that don't know how to do this TO thing or how to do events right and not represent them correctly. More than Capcom trying to put a stop
Not legal
to.
advice, by the way. Yeah.
Right, 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 right,
Not
right.
legal.
Again, this is not. How can I say this? This
Speculation.
is
Speculation.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we know what it is.
Yeah, like
That's the best way I can describe it,
yeah,
guys.
I guess the only concerns I have with so no, so number one, we don't know how this is going to affect crowdfunding and whatnot. So if you guys know, like I've been working with Maturino for a while. People have asked me my opinion, how this is going to affect Maturino and NLBC and stuff. I don't have an
Hmm.
answer for you yet, guys. Like we don't
Right.
know, right? We're just gonna have to find out. All I know is that NLBC is gonna be running tomorrow. The crowd fund's gonna be up. I'm gonna be at NLBC. I'm gonna be blowing up the crowd fund. I highly doubt the cap cops are gonna come knocking at any of our doors. Like especially because like I'll be real with you guys. Like we definitely carried this game. Like NLBC, NLBC Street Fighter Five. Come on, guys. You know
Yeah.
what it is. so
Yeah.
so
Let's be real.
yeah, like I don't think they're gonna do anything. But yeah, like I am concerned about the crowdfunding part. So we'll have to wait and see. It seems like Capcom is going to revise the agreement. So the outcry was not for nothing. Like I think there's going to be a heavily revised update to this. The second
Yeah.
thing I was concerned about, I mean, there's really like a lot of things you can be concerned about here, but the second thing I was concerned about was that Capcom didn't necessarily want people to do SF5 at like bars, bar venues, stuff like that, or any places with alcohol. That's something that really concerns me. It's something like that's something I would like to see revised for sure.
Hmm.
Because that actually might hurt a lot of grassroots events because we know like bars and FGC kind of go hand in hand, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of like not where things started, but we definitely have had events there. I
Mhm.
remember back in the day, bar fights and things like that, where
Mhm.
East Coast and West Coast got together and did thing. Um, yeah, yeah. I think there's definitely gonna be some reviews. I think maybe the person that wrote all of that didn't really take into consideration how.
It's the
Uh,
how like it's the suit son, and then Matthew Edwards is the new Capcom meat shield. Like at Capcom, there's always one person. I'll thank you right
that takes the hit.
for the resub. But yeah, like at Capcom, there's always one person that takes the hit. In the '09
Mm-hmm.
days, it was Seth Killian, right? After that, it was Combo Fiend, right? Then it
Mm-hmm.
was Mama Dow, right? Rest her soul, right? And then now like, it seems to be Matthew Edwards. So who knows? We'll see. But what I can say is this: in Japan, like there is actually like a federation of like of like these companies, right? It's called the JESU. And actually, in Japan, you have to pay a license to run anything, to run any of these
Oh
games and
wow.
tournaments. Yeah, you have to pay. You actually have to pay a license, and you need like you need some type of esports license to even receive payouts out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's crazy. Like, I guess that's a good point. Like back in the like Japan has always had this issue where
Hmm.
they can't really do tournaments with prize pools like that and,
Yeah,
and open tournaments and stuff like that.
we,
Um,
we've been extremely blessed to be able to do stuff like without anybody bothering us for this long.
right.
But
And I honestly think we'll be fine. I just really think, and
after the
this is my
blowback,
opinion.
yeah, I think we'll
Yeah.
be fine. Capcom's not
Yeah.
gonna kill themselves.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, this is my opinion. I do think that they are just making sure that the people that are going to represent them is the people that they know can do it right. Like for example, NLBC. That's pretty much it. You just yep.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, like I think we'll be fine, and like I think Capcom, excuse me, I think Capcom will eventually turn course on this because the PR is too bad. Like there's no way they're not gonna want to see SF on top. So let's hope
Right.
for a favorable outcome. But yeah, guys. But before we end this, does anybody have any questions for Mister Net Battles today before we end the stream? How like if now we're gonna end it here? Wow, we've been talking for like a good hour, son.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't
Yeah,
even
we're
notice that. I gotta go to work tomorrow and all that good stuff, but I appreciate you having me on, man. We can do this anytime.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Where can the Oh, so we do have one question here. Will you both be at Combo Breaker? So I do have my ticket and I'm registered, right? What I mean, like I'm assuming you're gonna be there, Norbert, right? Like I know we haven't talked
Uh,
to I know we haven't talked to Rick about anything yet.
right, right. So one way or another, I'll be there. But right now is still being worked. What we are gonna do, if anything, if and in what capacity Rick needs us, and anything like that. So we're just ironing out some stuff, but one way or another, we'll be there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully Rick brings us back on the squad again
Hmm.
because we had a lot of plans at Cabo Breaker 2019 that got
Oh
denied due to
God,
COVID.
yes. Yeah. So
But yeah, cool. Just let the people know where they can follow you and stuff. And thanks so much for taking time to come on. I believe it's
yeah,
twitter.com net battles today.
yeah, that's the spot. And I haven't been a real social media type of guy lately.
Mhm.
I'm not really on Twitter that much, but I'm always watching though. I'm always checking out what people are talking about on Twitter, how the FGC is doing, and on Facebook. Everybody, you know me, Nolbert Torres. That's my first and last name. You can find me, all that good stuff. So no problems there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And anything when you type net battles, you're gonna find us.
Uh, uh,
So or net and clutch.
all right, cool. Thank you so much for taking the time today, brother. And sorry
Uh,
for the little tech issues that we had. We were supposed to start like at 9, but ended up starting little bit later. But it's all good, man. Get some rest,
no,
man.
no worries. Go ahead.
I said get some rest, brother.
Oh no, I appreciate you, bro, and
Yeah.
take care. And shout outs to you. Shout outs to everybody in the Midwest. They always been extremely supportive for everything that we do, and also shout outs to you guys in New York. You guys are always been there for us too. So thank you.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good, man. Take care.
Mm.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was another episode of Furby's Corner, episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if you're seeing my Discord screen right now. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Um, also, guys, if you guys want to catch up on all these episodes, make sure you subscribe to the Beast Coast Spotify channel, right? Where you guys will be able to listen to these on the go or on the fly. Check out that Spotify link right there if you want to subscribe. It would greatly help out. And yeah, thank